Hey guys, DazManiacs Reacts here, and I'm giving y'all another one. Alright guys, man, this is a very much wanted reaction video for me, because I've seen this float around in the comment section I mean a lot, for me to react to. So yeah, I figured we go ahead and do that today, bring Elvis back to the channel, because we know Elvis is a great man, and we know that there's been a couple of controversy between people coming out saying bad about his name. But without further ado, I just want to bring this to people's attention, that Elvis was a great man. And if you haven't yet, definitely go check out my live stream that I did about pretty much a bunch of things that people have said about him, that are good and positive, and everybody that's met him and pretty much that knows the man for who he really was. And if you don't know too much about Elvis, definitely go check that out because it explains a lot. I'll probably put an annotation or put something up in this video about, heading back to, check that video out. Without further ado, I hope y'all are ready for it because I am. Elvis Presley in the black community. It says that echo will never die. So yeah. Without further ado, let's jump into it. I hope y'all are ready because I'm ready. Let's go.
I thought he was a very beautiful, and still is,
I
a
agree.
very beautiful person, and his memory shall probably forever live on. Well, you ain't nothing but a rabbit. You
Uh-oh.
ain't no friend of mine.
Uh-oh.
There is no room in this city for the vulgar performances of Elvis Presley.
It's shocking.
Bruh,
I
calm
watched
down.
him gyrate his legs and swivel his hips. And our parent-teachers group feels he should not be on television.
We've set up a 20-man committee to do away with this vulgar, animalistic nigger.
What is wrong with people of old man? I tell y'all what, man, this is just a whole rabbit hole that is just we're in the deepest part of it. Like, to be honest, we are in the deepest part of it because I tell y'all what, this stuff runs deep, real deep, and man, it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. Like, man, it's to the point where anybody that says anything about somebody can be pretty much claimed racist. And like, there's a lot of, I say that lightly because I'm saying that a lot of people will base what Elvis has done and or like how the media portrayed Elvis, and they'll base that off pretty much his personality. And the man was, whew, the media loves to put people out there that may not even be racist. I mean, I don't know people's personalities, so I can't speak for them or anybody else. But man, we need to change. We need to do better. We really need to do better. Like, as a society, as a humanity, like this is ridiculous. Like, the fact that this was even a thing is insane. Like, I guess people back then couldn't see, people's, hospitality for what it really was, and that really says a lot. Man, you can't judge a book by its cover. You gotta walk in his shoes, like walk a mile in his shoes. Man, that song when he came out with that one, it really said a lot. I reacted to that one too. So if y'all haven't yet, definitely go check out my Elvis playlist, Elvis reaction playlist, because I got a bunch of songs in there that will tell y'all everything about the man for the most part. Because man, going through his journey, I noticed that I know this man from a musical perspective because man, and this dude was nothing like the way that they say he is. Yeah, let's get back into this. I had to just say my little piece there, but it's just the world is going crazy. World is going crazy with all this negativity and stuff that's been going on, man. It like racism in general just needs to stop because we got the same blood. We're pretty much just different people with different personalities. That's literally what we're on this earth to be. Different people with different personalities, different souls. Man, other than that, I don't know really what else to say about it because it's just a shame. It's a shame. And we need to do better. We all need to do better. Because, man, let's see. Let's see what else they got to say about my boy.
There is no room in this city for the vulgar performances of Elvis Presley.
It's shocking. I watched him gyrate his legs and swivel his hips. And our parent-teachers group feels he should not be on television.
We've set up a 20-man committee to do away with this vulgar, animalistic, nigger rock and roll bop. Our committee will check with the restaurant owners and the cafes to see what Presley records is on their machines, and then ask them to do away with them.
Wow.
You've learned anything from the criticism leveled at you?
No, I haven't.
You haven't, huh?
Because I don't feel that I'm doing anything wrong.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time.
Gotta love it.
Rock and roll has got to go. And go it does at KWK. We're all through playing rock and roll records. This week is record.
This man could have gave that to me, man. I got a record player, but I still keep it. Man, people had an agenda out for Elvis, man. Whew. It's sad to see. There was an agenda for that man. Man, because people never saw him for what he really was, and it shows. It shows really, like, it's crazy. I even had a commenter, not being biased to anybody, but I even had a commenter comment on one of my community posts and was like, Elvis is racist. I'm like, so I had to explain to him before he judges, look at the actual facts before he judges somebody. You shouldn't judge in the first place, but if you're gonna judge, at least go by the facts first, or look at yourself first. Because, man, you never know. You never know what you could be doing that's, in the wrong. So, man, look at yourself before you look at somebody else. Because you ain't never walked a mile in their shoes, and they ain't never walked a mile in your shoes. So, that's just how it is, guys. Like, I know I keep stopping, but, man, there's a lot to this video. So I may have a couple pauses in here, but yeah, I gotta speak my piece on this one, because this is a long and deep hole that we've put ourselves in because of this situations, man. And we've judged people for based off appearances for too long. Like, you see it everywhere, and it's just ridiculous. Like, man, why can't we just see who we are as a humanity? Like, man, there's just so much. Let's get back into this. I can't believe my man broke a Elvis record, man.
Rock and roll has got to go. And go it does at KWK. We're all through playing rock and roll records. This week is record-breaking week here at KWK. And after this week, no more rock and roll will be played on the air.
The obscenity and vulgarity of the rock and roll music is obviously a means by which the white man and his children can be driven to the level with a nigger.
What the? What? Bruh. Okay, the ignorance is bliss right here. How does rock and roll do that in any way, shape, or form? It's music. Oh my gosh. This man is ooh. The ignorance is bliss right here. What did he say? Ignorance
is obviously a means by which the white man and his children can be driven to the level with a nigger. It is obviously nigger music.
Everybody mostly turned him down. And
this is crazy.
Because first thing, he had Negroes' ways. This is what they didn't really at that time. They didn't want to accept.
By black performers, and he, in essence, because of at that particular time the kind of backwards mental capability that many people had, as judging a person because of the color of their skin is somewhat still does exist, but back then it was worse. And he actually, because of him being a Caucasian brother, he was able to to do away with that whole thing.
Amen to Elvis for that. Amen to Elvis for that, man. Because, whew, man, I wonder if Elvis ever saw himself do that, really. I wonder. I wonder if he saw himself in that light to be that guy that, is going to, put that to shame, put that to rest. But man, he did what he could. And that's why he had respect for so many people that wanted change. After thinking about it, actually, yes, he did think that. He did definitely think that way because man, he wouldn't have so much respect for MLK. He wouldn't have so much for him, so much respect for him if that was the case. So yeah, he definitely did that. Definitely. Hold up, let's get back into. I'm sorry, guys, but this is going to be a long.
The 77-year-old Early Wright, a disc jockey at radio station WROX in Clarksdale for 45 years.
Hi there. Pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How do you do? This is your soul man to be with you until I get through. I want you to stand by, don't have no fear. Following Jay's show, should I play one like this one from out of here? Elvis Presley.
Elvis's songs still get good play on Wright's program among the blues, gospel, and jazz recordings that are its staples. It was almost 40 years ago when Elvis drove down to Clarksdale from Memphis with a record and asked him to play it.
And I had been playing his record, and I had never seen him before, and I was amazed to see him. When he introduced himself to being Elvis Presley, then I went all to pieces over.
I would have too,
then
man.
He and I started talking. I used to be the manager of a gospel group called the 4-Star Quartet. And I could listen to a man sing a hymn. I could listen to a man sometime talk. I did that. And I could pick him out whether he could fit in my group. And talking to Elvis Presley, I could see a great future in him.
It's no accident that Wright recognized Elvis's strong gospel roots. Here at the East Trigg Baptist Church in Memphis, older members of the congregation remember Elvis joining in with the choir while in high school. Wow. These were rousing sessions led by the charismatic pastor, the Reverend W. Herbert Brewster.
Like most black people in the South, and to whose throat God has pressed down a harp of 1,000 strings, it only needed tuning. Elvis's voice was that type of voice that agreed with the thought of Calvary. He had that kind of bent and inclination and attitude that suggested that God could use him. I gave the music a different approach, a new beat. I knew that it wasn't going to hurt if I said, "Must Jesus bear the cross alone," whether I've said with one beat, two beat, whether I've said it high or low. And I told them, "Come on in here and put your stuff together." They came in here, and it was a glorious experience, and Elvis was in that group.
Elvis came out with a style of his own, and it was very creative. And once he got into it, and you got that feel, Elvis just took off like a late freight. And with Elvis doing this kind of music, gave an injection to black music that no other artist had ever done.
It was like an earthquake in my neighborhood. The whole place was shaking when he came on. And I said, how did a person possess that kind of power? That it even comes off the TV and grab me in this ghetto neighborhood.
Elvis took my Tutti Frutti, and I was very disgusted. But by him singing it, he really made it bigger and made me bigger.
Doing those.
Well, look at that. Look at that. At least he gave it proper. See, you can hate the man, but at least give him credit where credit's due. I mean, come on now. He did his thing. He did his thing, and I give him credit all the time. Y'all got to go. If y'all haven't yet, definitely go check out my Elvis reaction playlist because, man, woo. I give credit where credit is due to anybody that's old and, or old style, oldies but goodies doing that type of style of genre. Man, I give back to the greats. I do that on this channel. And I love doing that because, man, without them, music wouldn't be what it is today. And Elvis tried to do something with his music, and I respect the man for that. I respect him greatly for that. Man, being a young man in this day and age, I respect him greatly for that, But yeah, without further ado, let's get back into this, guys. I told y'all it's going to be pauses, but Let's go.
Wait. In my neighborhood, the whole place was shaking when he came on. And I said, how did a person possess that kind of power? That it even comes off the TV and grab me in this ghetto neighborhood.
Elvis took my Tutti Frutti, and I was very disgusted. But by him singing it, he really made it bigger and made me bigger.
During those days, if it was a white artist doing something, they would just say, they don't like our blacks and we don't like them either. He's nothing but a copycat. But Elvis Presley, when he came on, chicks were screaming and going crazy, and it was just like any other neighborhood. And I said, this guy's got something going, man.
Elvis had something that made him sound like he truly meant it. And that's what made a lot of people like myself like him.
I think Elvis had lots of soul. He appealed to black people. He definitely had to have soul in order to do that.
I think there's ever been an artist that when his name went on the marquee, they knew he was coming. People came from all over the world. I never heard of that.
Elvis did a lot of stuff that, rappers do these days.
He had the bling. You gotta have the bling when you're from Memphis.
He had the bling, he had Cadillac, he had like a gangster image. As the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto.
The song also resonates with people who've only met Elvis through his songs.
Elvis talking about the hood. They're talking about where we come from.
Paul Beauregard and Jordan Houston are the Oscar-winning rap duo 3-6 Mafia. They grew up just 2 blocks from Graceland in one of Memphis's poorest neighborhoods.
I want a CD scratcher.
My mom used to always listen to this song when I was young. He talked about, things that she went through. She had my mom had a bunch of kids, like 9 kids. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get somebody to listen to your song. You talk about what they know about and what they want to hear. And she know about the ghetto, because, she lived in the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
That's it.
And his mama cries. But if there's one thing that she don't need, it's another hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto.
After we find the part on the record that we want to use, we sample it into the drum machine or the keyboard. That way we can loop it like.
My first line says, first I'm broke, so I hang out with the rat and roach. It's still broke, so I'm sleeping on apartment floors. So it's just like the struggle, what's going on in the hood. First I'm broke, so I hang out with the rat and roach.
Before he finished, that's what hip-hop should have been. That's what hip-hop should have stayed. Not all this fake stuff about killing people and all that stuff now. What it is, it's just an image. And, man, it's crazy. Man, hip-hop and then went downhill with all this other stuff that's going on. Like, mumble rap and all that stuff, man. It's sad to see that hip-hop went down so far. I don't even really listen to hip-hop too much now. I only listen to certain people. And unless the song is catchy, then I'll listen to it. But other than that, man, I think the lyrics are just straight stupid. And man, there are only a few people in this world now that can actually do some serious spitting. And that's people on YouTube, actually. If you go check them out, there's actually a couple people on YouTube that be spitting. But man, whew. But guess what? They don't get the recognition because, they give it to all these mumble rappers that's going to put up an image for the record labels. And, it's crazy. But yeah, without further ado, let's get back into this. He telling it like it is.
After we find the part on the record that we want to use, we sample it into the drum machine or the keyboard. That way we can loop it like.
My first line says, first I'm broke, so I hang out with the rat and roach. It's still broke, so I'm sleeping on apartment floors. So it's just like the struggle, what's going on in the hood. First I'm broke, so I hang out with the rat and roach. It's still broke, so I'm sleeping on apartment floors. And I was off beat, but it's all good, cause it's on TV. maybe do some edits, make me look cool, maybe put my name in the credits.
Once we have all that ready, we load it into the drum machine and then pay out.
So he starts to roam the streets at night, and he learns how to steal, and he learns how to fight in the ghetto. Survival is an everyday task. Watching your back for the man wearing the mask. I say you might get stuck if you in the hood.
I gotta check out both these songs, guys. That's crazy.
High off the ground, right beside a player hill. It ain't as bad as it seems. We still stay fly, looking so clean.
First I'm broke, so I hang out with the rat and roach. And
still broke.
They
Cause
gonna
I'm
play the
slipping
whole
on the
thing.
popping
Okay,
flows.
hold up.
The junkies get up, kick when they smoke a brick. I never seen a drug dealer ever call it quits. The hood struggle is to make you gotta get the change. See, every day is like a dark cloud full of rain. The feds tapping for what's dangerous when you hood trapping. So don't get lost in the sauce slinging, cold crackling.
See, y'all, I mean, I don't know if y'all really heard that, but that message is, man, he said, don't get lost. That, see, hip hop needed to have a message, like to put out for these young kids, but now it's sending the wrong messages, man. And I'm glad to have grown up to actually know right from wrong and not go down the road that I could have went down. But man, living in the places that I lived in, but man, I'm glad and honored to be where I am today because I chose right from wrong, and man, I listen to the right songs and right music and stuff like that because man, they do say that hip hop and stuff that could lead you down the wrong path, but it's the thought process that goes into making those type of songs. Like man, you say one thing and then they think kids that listen to it will think that you actually out there doing that, but no, it's just an image, and more people need to speak up about that. More people need to speak up about that. But yeah, let's get back into this. This song is fire. Let's
change. See, every day is like a dark cloud full of rain. The feds tapping for what's dangerous when you hood trapping. So don't get lost in the sauce slinging, cold crackling.
Get lost.
So help your brother along the way, no matter where he starts. But the same God that made you made him too.
Who said that?
These men
Who
with
said
broken
that?
hearts.
Elvis Presley said that, y'all. That's what I'm talking about, man.
During the 60s and early 70s, when tensions between blacks and whites were at an all-time high, Elvis demonstrated his desire for racial reconciliation in the musicians that he chose and the treatment they received.
When we first decided to take the gig with Elvis, we had no idea that there would be any racial flack regarding it. Our first racial encounter was when we went to Texas. Elvis was told by his people that, well, you can leave the black girls home. You don't have to bring them. So Elvis wasn't going to do the Astrodome unless his girls could be with him. And he demanded that we be given the star treatment. We had to be in our convertible where everybody could see us. And our little blonde could drive us. And that was his statement. You don't like it? Deal with it, or I'm not going to be there. Exactly. And I thought that was very big of him.
When I joined the group in 1972, they took a big chance because there were no blacks in contemporary or Southern gospel music, and I was the first one, and it made all the headlines and everything. It was in Billboard and all the newspapers in Tennessee. And my first time meeting Elvis was, he had a folder full of clippings of things that he had read about me. As a matter of fact, the Imperials brought me to his suite, and he gave me this folder with all the clippings, and he personally welcomed me into the family. And for a guy who, you know, didn't really know where he stood, this was very important, that he acknowledged my presence and, you know, made me feel very much a part of what we were all doing. And right away, he treated me like he'd known me for years. He gave me one of those TCB chains and everything, and I was just one of the guys, and I never forgot that.
And I've been
See, that's respect right there, man. I always tell everybody at the end of my videos, if you're new to this channel, I always tell everybody at the end of my videos, stay humble, stay blessed, stay humble, and always try to be kind. Because you never know how far those three things will get you in life. If you keep those in mind and set that as like a motto or some sort. Like I try to do that every day. Everybody I meet, I try to keep those three things in mind. Because like I said earlier, I don't know everybody's path. I don't know what they've been through, you know, and you never know how those three things could affect other people in a positive way. And that's why I try to bring to the world, you know. That's my little piece in that. But yeah, let's go back to this. And if y'all like this, definitely like and subscribe. We're all family here on this channel. I like my sub fam, and I always do like recommendations that they ask, and I try to, give back to as many people that I can in the music genre, or in the music modern modern day music society. So yeah, I try to, get back to them for what they doing, and react to some of their stuff and all that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get back into this. Talking too much.
One of the guys, and I never forgot that.
And I'd been around him with other people of color, and I've only seen him give love. Was very generous to people that he didn't even know. You didn't have to be of any racial
Now, does that
persuasion
sound like
for him
somebody
to
that's
love you.
racist?
And you know how rumors get started when there's a big star or something. The people will start rumors. Well, he doesn't like this kind of people, or he doesn't like those people or that people. And I never got that from him.
But Elvis is a whole nother thing. I think it's scary to even be compared to people in that, like, because he's such a big talent, and in his absence, of course he's bigger than in his presence. And music marks time, so in this time period, what Elvis was to his period would be something totally different. Well, I think rock and roll, what he brought to Vegas is more than rock and roll. I think it's just so much going on out here on the entertainment front. Like right now, you'll see the likes of Celine Dion and Tony Braxton. It's a lot going out here. As far as rock and roll is concerned, it's great. Elvis Presley was able to do things that haven't been able to be duplicated to this day.
Black American music influenced Elvis. The fact that people say, well, he's the king of it all, king of rock and roll, is a slap in the face to those that made the music possible in the first place. Not to say he wasn't brilliant. I think he was a fantastic, talented singer.
I don't think he ripped them off. I think once something has been exposed, anyone can add or take from it if they like.
That right there is the most brilliant statement ever. I've actually heard artists from nowadays say that they would love to hear other people, sing their stuff, because the way that music is in its entirety is like, it's a thing from the artist's point of view, but from a viewer's point of view that would possibly sing it in their point of view. So it'd be kind of different in some way, shape, form, or fashion, but it'd be still awesome to see it in their way as well. So it's interesting, how he just said that. Let's go back to see what he just said, because I want y'all to really feel that.
People say, well, he's the king of it all, king of rock and roll. It's a slap in the face to those that made the music possible in the first place. Not to say he wasn't brilliant. I think he was a fantastic, talented singer.
I don't think he ripped them off. I think once something has been exposed, anyone can add or take from it if they like. He was just so great, so popular, so hot, so anything that he played, it became a hit. To me, they didn't make a mistake when they called him the king.
Only thing I want to know, was he my friend? Did I enjoy him as a performer? Did he give the world of entertainment something? Yes, on all counts. And that's the name of that tune.
He was a bundle of energy set to music.
Oh,
yeah. And that echo will never die.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Ooh, that was a beautiful watch, man. I'm glad I got to react to this with y'all. Beautiful stuff, guys. I hope y'all all enjoyed that, man. Like I said earlier, man, we need to do better as a society on that front. If you are racist, man, really think it through. If your parents were the ones that, put that on you to be that way, really think it through. If you really want to choose that path, if you really want to be that type of person, because we're all the same person, just different personalities, like different personalities with different ways that we go through life, and that's just how humanity is, and that's just how I see it. I see everybody in the individuality, of being themselves. I don't judge anybody from Adam to Eve. I don't judge anybody. So that's just how we got to do better and move forward in life, Because, man, that's the only way I see us getting anywhere away from all this craziness that is going on with that. With that being said and stuff, because we don't want to make this deeper for our children's sakes. That's what we really need to do. Stop this now so we can prolong it or make a better future. Don't let future repeat itself. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, without further ado, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Stay blessed, stay humble, and always be kind. I know there are going to be a few people that may get triggered by some stuff that I say, and it's not to be biased to anybody. I just, I wanted to get my opinion across, and I figured, the best way to would be through this video, and I spoke my piece, and nothing against anybody. Like I said, I love every single body that comes to this channel. I appreciate every single body that watches the videos. Y'all are amazing, and man, without further ado, I can't wait to meet every single one of y'all, cause man, and see what y'all's struggles are and all that stuff. I always tell people that if they ever need anybody to talk to, hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, anything, and I will always be there for anybody that comes to this channel, because that's just the type of guy that I am. If you go through any of my videos, you will see that I am the same person from beginning to end, and I will be that way until the day I die. My echo will never die either. So yeah, and that's why I'm honored to be able to react to stuff and have fun with y'all and enjoy being like having a family setting of my like-minded people that love music and are here for the music and aren't we just we got to do better. We got to do better, guys. All right, guys, stay blessed, stay humble, and always be kind. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.